So I hope you liked that little demonstration of the guitar solo portion. That was an improvised solo. And what you're going to be doing is, now for your part of the challenge, you have to play the harmony and the rhythm and harmony, right? And you have to also improvise over the chord changes. Or you could sculpt your own solo if you want. I'm okay with that too. You know, whatever you want to do. But if you can improvise through it, that would be really cool. Either way is good. So I just want to say that what I consider advanced in the Kung Fu program is blue strapping up. Beginner is white, yellow, orange. And then we go to red and green for intermediate. And by the way, these levels, red and green, this is college level material. This is still advanced for a lot of people. And then above that, we have blue strap, which is where this stuff starts. Purple strap, black strap, then the master strap, white and black. And then from there, there's another test every 2 years. So continue, you know, to sustain your mastery. But either way, blue strapping up. Now this song that we're using here is an excerpt of The Things We Love. It's one of my songs, my wife and I, and our band, Two Cities, One World. The reason I chose this is because the things that are fitting in here fit in the blue strap and above. So in the blue strap, we learn odd meter, you know, different odd meters, all kinds of world rhythms in the green strap before that. But here we're dealing with some world music, some fusion. We're going through at least 11 modes or keys, and we're going through mixed meters and odd meters. So it's kind of a lot of stuff going on there, and I hope you enjoy. It's going to be really fun. But let me go ahead right now and break down all the stuff that's happening. Essentially, there's 3 sections: the A section, the B section, the C section. In the A section, we're in 4/4, and we're only using 2 chords. It sounds like this. This is the basic thing. So basically what we got going on right here, C minor 11. C is the main key here. And then B7 sharp 11. So these are the chords you have to play. You can strum with a pick, you can finger pick. Do however you like. And copy the rhythm, the rhythmic pattern. Okay? Bam! Make it feel, you know, as much like it is as possible. Okay? But anyway, what are your scale options there? For the advanced players, you already know, you know, but I'm going to give you a couple options for everything, and you can choose what you like. So over the C minor chord, C minor 11, you know, you could use C minor pentatonic, C Dorian is nice, C blues is good. These are kind of like 3 main things. Beyond that, you could actually use, well, you could use more things, but you could use melodic minor as well. And I know that interferes with the flat 7 note here, but it's okay. Sometimes it works and it ties the whole thing together. And the reason is because when we hit that second chord, and really that's the moment to switch to melodic minor, but you could use it the whole time for real. It's whatever you know, it's just how you do it. But either way, so I gave you at least 3 options for the C chord. Once you hit this B7 sharp 11 chord, you got options. The notes that are actually here would all live inside of C melodic minor. So this is a good spot for just staying in the C feel, going to C melodic minor. You could also treat this like B altered, which is C melodic minor. You know, it's one of the modes. It's the 7th mode of melodic minor. You could also play whole tone over this chord. I love that. I do that a lot. Sounds really cool. So I would recommend, yeah, whole tone or melodic minor over this chord. You could also, or you can think altered, you know what I mean? You could also do Lydian dominant, which is typical for this chord, especially if it's a stagnant chord. You know, it might sound, it depends. You gotta try these things out and see what you like. I typically switch to melodic minor, whole tone. So those are options, those are the chords. Now let's keep moving. Now we move on to the B section. In the B section, we switch to 5/8. Okay? So we immediately switch, and basically the tempo, the pulse is double the speed of what it was before. It's the 8th note. The 8th note takes on the new pulse. But the hits are basically on the 1, the 4, and the 5 are the main accents. Actually, the main accents are on the 1 and the 4. Secondary main accents are 1, 4, and 5. So like 1, 2, 3. but you know, I wouldn't recommend counting odd meter all the way up to 5. I would say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, Once you can count it, don't count anymore. So yeah, once you can count it, you don't need to count anymore, but I would just feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5. So just feel the accents. Boom, ba, boom, ba. You can think long, short, long, short. You know, this is a way of thinking an odd meter, longs and shorts. Everything is 3 and 2. But feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can catch this, you're good. All right? So that's a way to quickly feel it. Scale choices and chords and harmony. What's actually going on here? You have to play the chords. So this is an F sharp over A sharp, F sharp major over A sharp. So F sharp triad in first inversion. And then the bass note right here. So these fingers just stay. I'm not doubling any notes, just these 3 notes of the triad. The bass note right here, which is A sharp, gonna go down to A. This makes it F sharp minor. Okay, so we just switched keys. This is parallel keys. So F sharp major key, F sharp minor. Now the bass note goes down a half step, and that whole chord sequence goes down a whole step. So that means E over G sharp, and now E minor over G. And really, this is very smooth voice leading because we just went down originally from our A section, C in the bass, B in the bass, and then we walked down. I'm going to call it B flat for a second. And then A flat, G. So this is all chromatic. The bass line is connecting these sections all chromatically. So this is the chord. So you can play this. You can play this in different places too. But put the 3rd in the bass for all those chords. And scale options, there are many. Like I said already, this is dealing with parallel keys. If this seems too advanced, check out the intermediate challenge. It's dealing with parallel keys as well, but just one. Because right here we already have 2 parallel keys, you know, in like 5 seconds. So F sharp major key, F sharp minor, E major, E minor. You could solo with those scales, but the main thing is if you can find the most amount of common tones within everything, that's going to sound probably the best. Good voice leading, but other options. F sharp major, you could play Mixolydian here, and then right here, F sharp Dorian, and then right here E major, because the Dorian from F sharp and then E major, they have more connected notes than if I were to choose F minor, for example, F sharp minor. So I like to say you could use, you know, F sharp Mixolydian, F sharp Dorian, E major, E Dorian. And that's what I used in my, well, it's partially what I used in the solo that I did before. Different every time, you know. Just depends on what you want. But these are options. Another cool option is like, you could just do pentatonics. F sharp major pentatonic, F sharp minor pentatonic, E minor or E major pentatonic, E minor pentatonic. Another cool pentatonic that I like is like a Mixolydian pentatonic thing, which is like 1, 3, 4, 5 flat 7. It's got that like kind of Indian sound. That sounds really cool over this. I think it sounds nice. So there's a bunch of options for you. C section. 12/8. Boom. Ba. So we immediately switch to 12/8. 8th note still the pulse, but it swings. You know, so it still feels different. Even though the 8th note pulse in the B section was a straight 8th note. It's not as swung. Now it swings. And the way I play this live, we actually literally slow the tempo down like 2 beats per minute. It's so, but it just kind of boom, you know, takes you back for a moment and creates this whole other atmosphere that's really nice. We're gonna, you know, keep it in, you can keep it in time, but try to swing the section. So again, like I was saying, the bass line just keeps going down chromatically. So once we hit here, boom, just another half step down. So now we're in the C section. I'm going to explain the chords, what's going on, the scale choices, then I'm going to give you back and track and let you go for it. But either way, here we are. So we've gone down now, and this is a D flat major chord over G flat. So this is like a major triad with a 4 in the bass. There's other ways to look at that, but that's a very good way. If there's no additional notes that you want, major triad with a 4 in the bass. Sounds beautiful. Sounds awesome all the time. Love that sound. And Dean, I really was opened up to this kind of sound like a lot with Dean Brown, because he is so good with harmony, one of my long teachers. But anyway, yeah, thanks Dean, shout out to you. But anyway, so D flat over G flat, very pretty. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. There's your last portion of 12/8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This chord right here, which is E flat over G. So the bass note moved up a half step, but the full triad moved up a whole step. You see that? That's good voice leading. You know, we're keeping things smooth. Voice leading. E flat over G, just an E flat triad. So let's just see what all the chords are. So we do that, and then there's a spot at the very end of the chord progression to get us back into the A section that continues to walk up. And what happens is the triad continues to move up. Now this time the triad goes up a half step, and the bass note goes up a whole step. That's E major over A. We're back to the triad with the 4 in the bass, and then this whole shape goes up a whole step. F sharp over B, same thing. A half step back into C minor 11. So that's the whole thing. So, and I would use, I'll just wait a second. Boom. So I just want to show you, you know how this goes. Check it out, right here. Right back into 4. That's the whole C section. So let's check out what's actually going on for the scales now that you know how to play the chords. A lot of possibilities here. Again, and if you are, you know, if you already understand everything I'm saying, then you probably can come up with a lot of cool options as well. But I'm going to give you some obvious ones. So D flat over G flat. You know, the tonal center here is D flat for me. So basically D flat major right here. Just D flat major. But when we go right here, that's an E flat over G. That's just an E flat triad, a G in the bass. I changed to Mixolydian. Or sorry, I changed to Lydian, D flat Lydian, keeping the same tonal center, thinking in D flat, because you could be thinking like D flat major, E flat major is 4 and 5 in the key of A flat. So, however, with this G flat note, that interferes with A flat key, because G would be there, not G flat, right? So I play D flat major, D flat Lydian, which is kind of like our A flat major key. And I think those are good. You could also just play D flat pentatonic. You could play E flat pentatonic over that chord too. You could play A pentatonic, A flat pentatonic. You know, you got options, but the tonal center is really D flat. Okay, so that's what's up. Then when you move up though to this one, we're switching keys, and we're kind of doing a similar thing. It's very similar, but one thing I like to do on that part is just play pentatonics, each chord moving up. I think that sounds really cool, like D flat major pentatonic, E flat major pentatonic, E half step up now, E major pentatonic, F sharp major pentatonic, bam, right back in. So those are some options. Look, there's more options, but that's a lot, okay? I gave you a lot. So that's it. That's a good enough explanation, I think. Just listen to the tune, try out those chords. So for the challenge, you must be able to play the chords. This is very important. Guitar players, harmony, rhythm. This is like at least 70% of what you're going to be doing at a gig. You're not going to solo the whole time, you know, unless there's very few. There's certain gigs like that, but most, you know, unless you set your band up in that way to where that's what you do, You know, that's probably not going to happen. As a professional guitarist, you know, especially as an advanced, I care more about you playing the harmony and letting the rhythm feel good than I do about you soloing over this. If you're really advanced, you'll play the harmony and make it feel good, and the rhythm. You know what I mean? So you got to play the chords and the harmony, and you got to play solo over it. You can improvise, you can sculpt it. There's a backing track. Check out the backing track, play with it. I'm going to show you a chart as well. And that's it. When you feel comfortable, when you've worked this out enough, you feel good, take a video of yourself playing the chords first over the whole A, B, and C section consecutively, non-stop, then soloing over it, and submit your video. Okay, that's all you got to do. You can email it, kungfumusiclessons@gmail.com. I'll review it and get back to you ASAP. You'll be a winner. Or you can upload it and hashtag Kung Fu Guitar Challenge. All right? So that's it. Check the backing track, dig in, have fun. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I will answer anything. And yeah, have an amazing time. Thank you. See ya.